safety and politics are an absolute necessity. I was always in the belief that we kept politics aside from safety, but I've learned very quickly that the two have to go together or we just do not move forward. In talking to the DMLAs in Victoria, it was shocking to me how many of them just had no clue what was going on out there.
Meanwhile, thousands of Stop the Killing postcards had been pouring into the Labour Minister's office since the fall of 2005. Shortly after the lobby, the government asked the Auditor General to review forest industry safety, a direct result of pressure from the Steelworkers Stop the Killing campaign.
Later that summer, we won another one of our major demands, a coroner's inquest into the tragic death of faller Ted Gramlich on Vancouver Island. Ted bled to death while his partner tried to save him. They were waiting for a helicopter, but the helicopter was grounded, and no one told them. The company failed them, the contractor failed them, the system failed them. Through the inquest, we were able to show that the company that hired the contractor Ted worked for had also contracted out safety, with no follow-up to make sure that safety was being looked after.
The verdict and recommendations resulting from the Gramlich inquest offered government a roadmap for re-regulating the forest industry, and most importantly, confirmed the USW's long-held concerns that widespread industry restructuring had downloaded responsibility for safety onto individual workers, creating the culture of desperation. In June of 2007, we participated in another inquest, this time into the 2005 death of Northern BC trucker Frank LaRue. Our union reiterated our call for immediate implementation of a coroner's jury's recommendations, including re-regulation of the forest sector safety standards and inclusion of a safety objective in the BC Forest and Range Practices Act.
One of the coroner's recommendations from the LaRue inquest was for regulatory change to log hauling. We're still pushing for changes that make companies and government officials responsible for worker safety. They have to look after the fish streams, wildlife, and timber values. The least they can do is look after worker safety too.
In July of 2007, we went on strike against the BC coastal industry, largely over the safety and security of our members. A bitter 12-week strike, which included the escalation of a North American-wide consumer awareness campaign at the outlets of the Home Depot in Rona, resulted in progress on the health and safety of our members. The strikes ended in the fall with major breakthroughs in the area of health and safety. I'm proud to say that the coastal agreements now contain the most comprehensive safety and health provisions in the entire Canadian industry.
We are working hard at protecting our members against being forced to work unsafe shifts and jobs. The industry and the union now have to examine the safety of logging on shifts longer than 10 hours and review existing shifts. For the first time, the right to refuse unsafe work is enshrined in the collective agreement, where it belongs. And new provisions require companies to provide all workers, including contractors and subcontractors, with transportation if they are injured on the job. This is what our union proudly calls the Gramlich Clause, named after Ted Gramlich, the contract faller who died in 2005, when he was not evacuated from a logging operation in time.
Early in 2008, our union was delighted to receive the long-awaited Auditor General's report on forest industry safety. It verifies what we have been saying since 2005. The province's own Auditor General confirmed that government leadership for forest safety is fragmented, that contractors and subcontractors lack the infrastructure, organization, and finances to have adequate safety programs when safety is downloaded on them, that existing occupational health and safety guidelines are not adequately enforced by the industry, that timber harvesting plans do not make safe harvesting a goal, and that the supervision of workers is often non-existent. The report notes the severe impact of deregulation and contracting out and warns that the practice disables the safety infrastructure and splits responsibility for profit from the responsibility for safety. The report also echoes the USW's long-standing concerns about the effect of creating dozens of small contractors in place of company crews, notes a lack of oversight on the safe use of logging roads, and concludes there is a deficit in the area of worker training.
But we can't stop here, even with the Auditor General's report in the government's hands. We can't assume the government, agencies, and employers will adopt the recommendations. We have to keep up the fight to stop the killing, and that means keeping the pressure on the government.
Through our Stop the Killing campaign, we link the health and safety of our members to government policies that deregulated the industry. In our district and our union, we are taking the example of this campaign into other areas. From the Stop the Killing campaign, we have seen that we can link our members' needs with campaigns that truly can bring results. Campaigns are not easy. They take planning, thought, and preparation. If we clearly communicate, listen to and involve our membership, if we are persistent and focused, we can make a difference. And most important, we can win positive changes, changes that benefit working families. And as in the case of Stop the Killing, we can succeed in saving workers' lives. Thanks for watching.